Welcome back to Kenosha Community Media. We got a great guest for us today, and that is Stephanie Miller, who's the Director of Communication and Technology at the Village of McFarland. Nice to see you today, Stephanie.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
Okay, well, maybe for those that we're kind of talking to with directors across the state on public access, but where is Village of McFarland located in relation to the state?
Yeah, McFarland is just a suburb about 15 minutes from the state capital in Madison.
And is your station, the PEG Access is public education government? Are you all three, just one of them? Let's hear about that.
Yeah, I would say we're all three, but with more emphasis on, I would say, public and government, if you will.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot of educational shows at the moment, but at the same time, you could throw us in. We work very closely with our schools. So
how did you get started into community media?
it was a previous coworker of mine. So actually my predecessor beforehand, who was the part-time director, was looking for a person to run the social media accounts for the village. And I actually had background within social media management. So I was hired on part-time just to do that. And essentially, I also have a background, my degree is within radio, TV, and film. So it kind of just, the stars aligned, if you will, and I kind of got thrown in outside of the social media aspect. I was going to various shoots and production. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started. It was just predecessor, previous coworker.
So let's talk about what your community media station has to offer. So there is a public involved. So do you do workshops, or can people either come in and check out cameras or anything? What's involved in the public aspect of Village of McFarland?
Yeah, we're actually going through a revamp of our public side of things because it hasn't been touched on in quite a few years. And based on staffing changes and availability, we are re-looking at our policy of how we're providing to the public within PEG. So right now we don't allow for folks to come in and do any sort of, I guess, education or training, educational type of things, or check out cameras. But we are working with a few folks in the community that want to provide some sort of programming. So hopefully within 2022, we'll start some more public programming, which, yeah, as I said, it's something that's kind of being revamped at the moment and looking forward to what's to come.
Okay. So when we talk PEG channels, sometimes certain communities have 3 separate channels on the cable lineup. Is that similar to what you guys have, or how does let's hear about it.
Yeah, we just have one channel,
okay.
But we are on 2 different telecommunications companies. So we are on the Spectrum, Charter Spectrum, however you want to call it, and we are also on TDS. So we recently signed on with TDS. I want to say that was in 2019, and it's been a great relationship.
Public side as well. You said at this point they can't come in and create programming, but can they submit programming if they create it off-site?
Yeah, and
okay.
I guess again with the kind of the shift in how things have been going over the past couple, 2 years at this point, we haven't heard a lot from folks, but again, we're excited as we're starting to collaborate with people in the community. They know that it's an option. I think that was another hurdle we had to kind of come over, was that a lot of people in the public didn't know they could come to us and submit work for quite some time. So again, kind of revamping it, bringing that back up, and hopefully getting some new content.
Which leads me to my next question. Why should someone get involved in community media?
Yeah, I think it brings a whole other perspective that we don't see as staff. We try to be as involved within the community as we can, but yes, McFarland is only around 8,500 folks, but that's still a lot that could be happening within the community. So there's people out there have a lot of great ideas, and we want to hear them. We want to work with you. We want to be able to provide those ideas and take our platform and provide it out to the rest of the community. So I think it's important for all of us to, in a sense, work together to share the story of McFarland through the different lens that people come up with, whether it's interviews or maybe they wanted to do a how-to video, whatever they come up with. I know we would be more than willing to get them involved and, you know, show that off to the rest of the public.
Well, since you have a background in film, TV, radio, have you ever produced your own film at all through community media?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's one thing on the list, Stephanie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, you must have
you
some
know,
pretty
as
good.
director, there's a lot
Oh,
of other things we have to
yeah,
juggle. So
that's true. That's true. I'm not going to argue on that one. But you are involved in Wisconsin community media. And for those that don't know about Wisconsin community media, what is it?
yeah, Wisconsin Community Media is an organization that covers the whole state, and an organization that brings together all PEG stations, media centers, radio stations as well. And it's a great, I see it as a connection tool for all of us across the state to have some sort of connection. For instance, you know, without Wisconsin Community Media, we wouldn't be having this interview. So it's a nice way to network with everyone across the state, but then also, I guess, kind of get ideas, bounce thoughts off of each other, and then help showcase other content of other PEG channels as well. So I'll use a great example. You know, this coming week, we're going to be broadcasting a girls swim meet, and McFarland is swimming against Oregon. And we offered our live stream to Oregon Community Media, and they're going to also broadcast on their channel. So, you know, it's kind of a nice way to connect with various PEG channels across the state.
Well, it is very important to the community, and we want to keep it going. Since McFarland is close to Madison, do you encourage people to contact their own local state, state officials and keep it going?
Yes, absolutely. I encourage folks to always reach out to their local representatives, tell them how much you appreciate community media, why community media matters to you, and to make sure that all community stations stay live and no one goes dark in the future.
If people want to learn more about the Village of McFarland community media, is there a website or social media sites that they can go on to learn more about it?
Yeah, so our social media is actually, it covers all of the Village of McFarland. So you wouldn't just see stuff specifically for communications and technology, but it is just the Village of McFarland in Wisconsin. And don't get it confused with McFarland in California. Some people do get it confused.
Okay. Good enough.
And you can also find us on Instagram, which is Village of McFarland as well. We're on YouTube, which is McFarland Cable. And then we also have our on-demand website, which just relays anything that's being played on our channel for those who may not have a cable subscription, which is www.mcfarlandcable.com.
Well, Stephanie, you and your team do an excellent job at the Village of McFarland and bringing community media to the local residents and across the state. And Stephanie, thanks so much for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.